Virgin Australia had a good result, and investors piled on board. It's up almost 20% over the week. But perhaps the most interesting development was their decision to split the domestic and international operations into separate entities. We've got Virgin Australia boss John Borghetti on that subject.
The whole purpose of doing this, as we've said, is for two reasons. One is to comply with the ANA, the Air Navigation Act, which is very important if you're an airline. And the second part is to actually add shareholder value by opening the opportunity for foreign institutional investors to invest in a domestic business. And the other important thing is it makes us like just about every other stock on the Australian Stock Exchange.
Why would an overseas investor want to buy into an Australian airline? Frankly, why would they want to buy into any airline?
Why would any investor want to buy into an airline?
Any airline? So it really just seems a bit of a lame event. I'm not sure that he's being flooded with demand from overseas investors to buy his equity. Even
though Borghetti himself has denied this, one of the reasons why you might adopt this new structure and allow foreign investors to buy into the head stock is to invite strategic investors. Because if one remembers, the Virgin register's crowded. Branson's got 26%. Air New Zealand jumped in and grabbed 20% just before Etihad was going to buy in. James Hogan, who runs Etihad, and Borghetti are long-term friends. Hogan said very recently, I'd like to buy a slice of Virgin to shore up all the strategic alliances these airlines now have. So to me, it opens the door for...
So do you think he needs that support, that backing?
I think it's to cement alliances. Virgin has struck alliances with, or co-chairs with 5 international airlines now. And probably the most important of them is the Etihad one. And this is just a way to secure the alliance and spread a bit of the economic benefit a bit more evenly between the partners. It is an interesting one because Qantas, for instance, has that same limitation of foreign ownership, and that's to protect the bilateral rights of governments to negotiate with other governments to fly into their airspaces. So it has to be majority Australian owned, and by putting that part of the business into a unlisted entity and locking it up so that you can't have a reduction of Australian ownership, that may preserve the bilaterals.
And why shouldn't Qantas do the same thing? I mean, why should Qantas be limited to 49% with the Qantas Sale Act if Virgin's playing funny stuff with holding companies?
Stephen, just on, we have to wrap it up soon, but AGL, their profit was down 51%, but they're going to raise $1.5 billion to mop up the minorities in Loy Yang, which you helped sell.
Oh, well, Jeff Kennett sold it. It was the $4.85 billion, which they sold it for in April 1997, the biggest single power station deal. And then it changed hands again. The Americans lost over $1 billion. It changed hands again in 2003 at a valuation of $3.85 billion. Now it's changed hands again at a valuation of $3.1 billion. So it just goes to show that Kennett's privatisation was brilliant, but you still can sell a brown coal fire station after the carbon proposals come in. These are the dirtiest power stations in the world, and it's worth $3.1 billion. And AGL has really doubled down. They've lost money on their original investment, and they've said we'll take on all that debt, $2.8 billion. We'll raise $1.5 billion. So it's a big.
Is it worth them doing this?
Well, they've got a large retail, so they've got now a guaranteed supply. If you've got the biggest power station in Victoria and you're one of the biggest suppliers, you can balance all that off. So it probably does make sense to do it, but a lot of that belching carbon going up there, it's a big punt.